Everyone, welcome back to Tough Lift Podcast. Those of you that are tuning in on Spotify, thanks for joining in and listening in. Those of you that are watching on YouTube, you will see in front of us two people for the interview today. So this is the first time I've done a dual interview, a tripart, I guess we would call it technically. This is episode 19 of the Tough Lift Podcast, and this is Sean, Michael Rigsby, and Tayler Harris of Heavy Metal Barbell, but there's so much more to them other than just that. So welcome to the show, guys. First of all, thank you. I know both of you guys are busy and wedging this into your day. We're just going to get right into it because we are kind of wedging in the day to do this. I kind of want an intro right out the gate just of who the fuck you guys both are, to be blunt. So I obviously know you, people that have been in the weightlifting scene. But the podcast, like I kind of told both of you guys, it's actually for the newer scene of weightlifters to get to know a little bit of history in the sport. And also I try to provide content that's going to be good for them to move forward. And I can, or other coaches can direct hey, I want you to go listen to this because I think you can get a lot out of it. Not just 3 simple tips to a stronger squat, stupid boring shit. So without further ado, let's talk about you guys individually, just who you are. And then we can get into the meat and potatoes of actually who the fucking unit of you guys are.
Okay. So, who wants to go first?
You go ahead. You got a better beard.
That's a fact. Yeah.
You have a stronger beard. I'm Sean Rigsby. I started weightlifting, I think, in either late 2010 or early 2011. I was trying to learn how to be a strength coach actually at the time, and there was this guy named Glenn Penley at this place called Cal Strength who was making these fun YouTube videos, who seemed like a really blunt and brutal guy. He was just honest all the time, and I was like, all right, I appreciate this. So I actually took my level 1. That was the reason I got my USA weightlifting membership, was to go take a coaching course, because I wanted to be a professional strength coach. And then weightlifting just took over my entire life. So from there, got recruited to go to Muscle Driver USA, which is a thing we could talk about. It was at the time the only funded. It was the only privately funded weightlifting team in the country. And then that just started my own journey. The entire time I was basically coaching while I was lifting, because my introduction to weightlifting was to be a coach. I just happened to be decent enough at it to get to do it at the levels that I got to. I got to work with, I lost count now. So Glenn Penley, Don McCauley, Zygmunt Smalterz, Max Ada, Kevin Simons, Chris Wilkes, Travis Mash. So that's 7 senior international coaches over the course of my weightlifting career. I got to compete and represent the nation, the Republic of Ireland, at the European and World Championships. And that's pretty much all I did athletically. A couple medals here and there at some meets. And now I work for USA Weightlifting as a coach in the high performance department. And I'm lucky enough to go work with coaches like Matt and help our youth and juniors develop around the world.
Awesome. Perfect for that. We didn't go too in depth. And then, ma'am?
Sure. I am Tayler Harris.
Beardless Tayler.
Just Tayler. But weightlifting, I got into weightlifting via CrossFit. I think a lot of us did in the late 2010, early 2010s. So I was a soccer player, D2 soccer player, and was like, F this, don't want to do this anymore. Started getting CrossFit instead because I kind of got chunky. And then I was like, actually, you know what's really fun? This lifting thing. So I went to a gym that was in Asheville, North Carolina, which is where I was living at the time. And I was like, I want to learn to power lift, actually. And she said to me, if you'll give me one weightlifting meet and you hate it, I'll teach you how to power lift and you never have to do another weightlifting meet again. And that was in July or June of 2011. And obviously I never went to powerlifting. So I started weightlifting there. I ended up getting recruited by actually Glenn in 2012 and declined him because I just entered a career in my life and was like, I can't move to Charlotte at the time and give all that up. So I turned it away, and then I actually started working with Tom Stroka, who was like, hey, you should come down and try out for Muscle Driver. And when they recruited me a second time, I was like, I can't turn that down a second time. You can't do something twice, right? So say no twice. So I moved down here, was at Muscle Driver until it's closing. I've coached only as a way to kind of supplement my income. That's never been my unlike Sean, that's ever been my true passion. I enjoy it, but it's not like where I want to go in life. So I've lifted internationally and represented Team USA 3 or 4 times.
Medaled for Team USA.
Team medaled for
At least 2 times internationally. So
you can tell who my coach is. Sean started coaching me, but yeah. So medaled for Team USA. I am now currently. I was the president for the Carolina WSO. I'm currently still on the WSO for the Carolinas. I'm also a board of directors athlete representative for USA Weightlifting. So I'm trying to make sure athletes are getting represented, everywhere.
Yeah. So solid. So those of you listening, these folks have been in the sport on a bunch of different seats and chairs, moving around, seeing a lot of generations. That's why I wanted them on the show, is they've seen a lot of things going on, especially this MDUSA piece. A lot of the newer generations, I don't think, kind of know what that was. And I'm all about making sure like things don't get lost to history. I'm a huge history nerd, so this is like my own way in a sense for me to keep history going. And like you guys met at MDUSA, right? And like Sean, you're from California originally, right?
Yep.
And Taylor, are you from North Carolina originally?
I'm a native, yep.
Okay, so you guys are both from North Carolina. Taylor clearly grew up knowing to stay away from military men because she was in North Carolina, because we're viruses that just infect the state. So you guys find each other through the sport, and you guys are both at this camp. Let's talk a little bit about like what MDUSA was. Not the equipment side. We don't need to talk about equipment. Let's talk about like what it was, what it represented, what the dream was, what the mission was there, for everyone that like maybe doesn't know about it, or like just wants to go on a fucking trip down memory lane, because there are a lot of people that like loved what that was all about.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about how you guys met there, because we have to.
There, to lean more into the history piece, people who don't know, York Barbell was a company that had, there was a time when Olympic athletes had to be amateurs. They couldn't be paid anything, and that's since kind of gone away. There's certain rules they have to follow, but so to get around not paying their athletes, to just train all the time, Bob Hoffman said, hey, why don't we just give them jobs at the warehouse? And they probably did do some work. I believe that they did, loading orders, stuff like that. But their main job was to train. And so in that vein, Muscle Driver started. Glenn Penley was like executive vice president or something of that, whatever Brad offered him, the actual owner of the company, to start this thing. And so it was going to be this new York Barbell, this new, like I said, only privately funded weightlifting team in the country at the time. So you basically had 2 options. If you wanted to be a great weightlifter, you could go to the Olympic Training Center and go through like a traditional residency path, or you could try out for Muscle Driver.
So you actually had to be invited to the OTC.
Yes, yeah, you could. There was no you actually just had to be selected. Exactly.
That was one of the problems. We could even go down a whole rabbit hole talking about that if we wanted to. But
yeah. So Muscle Driver at least had tryouts. Yes. So you could go do that. I mean, you might get told no, but you might get told yes. And so everybody that was there, maybe it's my own vision, we're kind of like the misfits of elite weightlifting, so to speak, and that like, all right, we weren't good enough to be at the OTC. We got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but I think some of us did. And then when you look at the results, the production, Kane Wilkes was there. He was great before he got there, but he became an Olympian. Morgan King got actually identified and then plucked from that program to go to the OTC. Travis Cooper did his best lifting there. James Tatum did his best lifting there. If you guys don't know who those are, look them up. They're multiple-time Team USA athletes, multiple-time national champions. Jared Fleming did his best lifting there, broke the American record snatch while he was there. Holly Mangold tried to make her second Olympics there. I could go on probably a little bit longer. But you have this team of 15 really, really driven people that are going to do everything they can to see their weightlifting career go through. Mm-hmm. And came into one room. We're kind of crazy, all kind of psychopaths. As far as I still think it's 15 or so psychopaths who don't want to be the weak link in the room. Put that all together, and it turns out some pretty special things. So, what you got?
Damn.
That's one man's perspective, so I want to
mean,
hear someone else.
Let's even go on that. Let's even go on that on just that phrase right there, because the last episode I did with Ursula was talking a lot about the female history, and I think that's one of the things that Muscle Driver did well, is that they actually pushed a lot of female athletes through there.
Yeah.
And developed that scene a lot. And like Tayler, you were one of the newer ones, if I remember right, that got invited there.
Third woman. Yep.
Yeah. So like, what was that like growing up down there through that scene?
It was actually really so Morgan unfortunately left. Morgan and I were like ships in a night. She left I think a week before I got there, which was kind of unfortunate because like now like training with Merck would have been a really cool thing. But it was just a lot of fun to go because I went from a corner of a CrossFit gym where I would come from work every day, train by myself, go home, and like that was it. Like my routine was very set, and I was doing that. And then I went into this environment where I was around, to Sean's point, like 15 people who they didn't cut you slack. Like we talked shit to each other, and that was a lot. Like that to me was like the coolest part. Was that like that is weightlifting is this individual sport, but you have these people around you that are pushing you to be better and be stronger, and like not letting you, they understand like, hey, like you're maybe tired today and that's okay, but like this is not going to go on for more than like a few days, or hey, if there's something wrong, let's talk about it and figure out what's happening. We all pull each other out, and like as lame as that sounds, like we were a family. I mean, like I still consider most of those people like if somebody called me right now like and needed something.
Yeah, I mean, we did holidays together. We were doing trips together, sometimes vacations together. It's just everything. You're one unit, so it's like the closest thing I could say. Everybody uses that term too much. Oh, we're like a family. It's like, no, like this is this unit. Like we do everything together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely reminisce. Like even my worst soldiers I had. Like if those morons called me and needed help right now, I'd get in my car, I'd go, and my wife would not even know who those people were, and she'd be like, whatever, Matt's gonna be gone like 3-4 days, I guess. He might end up in jail, but he has to go help that. Why is Matt arrested in Des Moines? I don't know, but whatever. But like I totally get that, and I think maybe to kind of like elaborate on it, it's probably because like you guys were representing, like you said, this pirate ship effectively in USA weightlifting.
We called ourselves. They called us.
We were called the Yankees of weightlifting because
like you being weak kind of made the team look weak. So you weren't gonna be that weak person. So the team wasn't gonna let you be weak for more than a few days. They had to keep helping you because they also wanted you to light a fire under their ass if they needed it. So, and you see that when you get a good gym, like a good healthy gym environment going around, like other members will be like, hey, you doing okay? Because like the last couple of days I've noticed you've been coming in later, or you've just been, sitting on your phone a little too long, like you all good, etc. So it's good that, by the sound of it, you guys were kind of motivating each other.
Yeah, we were really I don't think anybody, because I think a lot about culture and personalities in a room now being like the coach of a weightlifting team in a gym and all that. And we're actually really lucky that at least the time that we were there, there was this great cohesion of personalities, and everybody was like obviously driven, but supportive. Like if we think about some of the coaching minds as athletes that come out of there, like Travis Cooper's probably one of the most knowledgeable people in all of the world about weightlifting, and to have him as your teammate and be like, hey man, it's going to be okay, was like, you can't put value on that. Or having someone actually like Tom, who was Taylor's original coach. Tom kind of like was, the unofficial dad in a way, was showing you like how to be a professional because he went through college athletics. So it's like, no, like we show up for training on time. We carry ourselves a certain way at training. Like if you're going to throw a tantrum, like go the fuck outside, and I'm sure we all have, our share of tantrums. Just little things like that. It just happened on accident, and we were really lucky.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. So when did you guys meet? Because like, I even have it on here, like the most dangerous game, Sean, as a gym owner, and I know I highly advise against and have for years, is athletes dating each other. I sit there and I first, as a young gym owner, before that, even as a coach of a CrossFit gym and a head coach before it was my gym and I started, I don't advise this. And I tried to fight it. And then it became, I got wiser in my years, and it became like, can't stop them from dating each other, but like, I don't advise it. Don't fuck up my business. Then you guys are the two athletes and you dated each other. So you guys decided the most dangerous game to play. So, now you guys have been obviously dating successfully and you're married now. And like, so when did that all happen? And, there's a lot to unpack there. And so let's hear the story. Like, how did that go? How did that happen? And then like, let's roll right into coaching your significant other and how you guys have done that successfully. Like, clearly I think it's safe to assume there's been some fucking rough patches here and there.
Sure.
Of like, I don't want to do fucking 10, Sean. Go fuck yourself. Maybe Taylor's just a glutton for punishment though, and she asks for 10s, and you're like, no, you're a psycho, and you probably need to chill. I could also see that conversation happening. So, I think I have a good read on you guys enough to say that might be a conversation.
I'm gonna let Taylor start up, but I'm gonna start it with like one piece of context because of what you said. Glenn Penley once said, I think weightlifters just need to date other weightlifters. Like, it's the only thing that'll work out. They're the only kind of people that understand each other. And so that's the voice in our heads, is that like...
Said that to us separately.
Yeah, said it both to us, not together, separately, at different points in our lives or whatever. And then we start dating each other, and he's like, couldn't be madder.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Didn't speak to her for maybe ever again. I don't know.
Wow.
Very often.
Glenn might have left Muscle Driver and not spoke to me since we dated.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
There's a very strong possibility of that.
So, anyway.
But, so Sean came to Muscle Driver in
2013.
End of 2013. I joined in May of 14. We were just teammates, obviously, and you're together in a room, as Sean said, 9 times a week with each other, just doing the thing, and just a friendship evolved because Sean and I both have a super fucked up sense of humor. And like, I think, and like, we would just go, and like, I was living about 45 minutes north of the gym at that point with some family members, trying to keep my budget low, so I would end up eating out with him and Dawn, because I didn't want to go home and like wait 45 minutes to eat after training.
Yeah.
We just started hanging out more and more, and
can't miss that window, dog. For gains.
Music playlists, things like that, stuff like that.
Yeah, so we just kind of like, it just kind of happened, and we were trying to actually keep it away from...
Yeah, didn't want it to affect the team.
Yeah, actually. So we actually kept it on the, not like because we were embarrassed, we just didn't want it to impact, like if it didn't work, we didn't want it to impact the team environment.
Okay, so let's pause real quick, because Sean, just like I do, I my fucking members and Tracy, like you guys know Tracy, my coach, I will sit there in the gym, I'll be like this, and I'll look at Tracy and I'll be like, they're fucking seeing each other. And she'll be like, how do you know? And I've done that like 3-4 times now. And be like, how do you know? And I'll be like, because they're fucking acting different and they're not talking to each other now. And they were talking to each other all the time. And like, you can tell, dude. So you guys are fucking lying to each other if you think Glenn didn't know. Or people didn't know.
Glenn was blind.
Glenn was literally blind at the time, so yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's true. I guess that's your saving grace.
Don knew because he's sitting there, going out to eat with us, watching it happen. But
yeah.
It's literally telling Sean to not fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, 100%. Like, I'm sure they knew, but we were just trying to not make it overly obvious.
Yeah.
But it just kind of naturally occurred, and I don't really know.
That's surprising. I figured, Taylor, you would have been more bossy like my wife. You've been like, you're taking me on a date.
I think I was like nervous again. Like, I didn't want to. Was it shit where you eat? I didn't want to risk like something being like, because and you know this. You've owned gyms. Like, people have physical attraction to each other because you're in that like. You're in this like heightened physical state, you're feeling good, you're looking good, you're feeling strong, right? And these people like end up hooking up or whatever because of that. And I didn't want to be like, oh, well, it's just like us being in this like heightened state of hormones and we feel good about ourselves and about each other. I wanted to make sure that it was something that was going to be legitimate and not just like us just trying to have sex. God, I hope my dad is.
You also didn't know if you were going to get a third invite to Muscle Driver. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't get a third one.
The most invites ever. All right, so that's awesome. That's nice and platonic. So fast forward, you guys continue to date each other, and then like, sadly, Muscle Driver like unravels. Right? We don't need to go into the much details on that, but Muscle Driver unravels. Bunch of things happen. You guys, Sean, if you want to go into the details, like you end up stepping out, doing your own thing with like, because you didn't open your own club right away, right?
Actually, I guess before I moved, I started heavy metal barbell in 2011 before I moved to muscle driver because I was just coaching.
Okay.
And so I was trying to do coaching weightlifting. And then like when I moved out there, just end up doing like, the thing that every athlete does. You coach at a bunch of different gyms. I was probably coaching like 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing is like supplemental income. But yeah, we didn't like open a gym or anything like that, right?
Because I can't remember like after Muscle Driver if you were with Kane doing stuff with Kane in his place for a while, or like when you started your actual physical location, like post Muscle Driver.
Yeah, so Muscle Driver went bankrupt in February 2016. I don't remember the exact day.
I think it was March.
Yeah.
I think it's February.
Whatever.
But it's not important. It's right before the Olympic trials. That's what I do remember, which did not affect me. I had shoulder surgery already. Like, it in no way affected me, but it did affect some of my teammates who were favorites to go to the Olympics. So it was really a bummer. So the rest of that year was kind of like a year for me of tying up loose ends. Like I finished my bachelor's degree, like all that other stuff. And then someone asked us to kind of open like a physical space inside their gym towards the end of 2016. And then we opened like our first physical location in North Carolina on January 1st, 2017. So yeah, our first day of business was the 2nd. That was a Monday. So, so yeah, that's kind of how the timeline worked.
And us, as in you and Tayler?
Well, it's actually through Tayler was coaching at the place.
So I coached like a double, like 2 times a week, like just like an hour weightlifting course for this CrossFit gym. And
because you guys weren't married at this point, right?
No, we didn't get married until 2020. So we were dating.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sean had actually gone to England for a semester for school during 2016. And then, so like we had just kind of like, we were kind of floundering around, honestly. And right before all that, so actually Sean started coaching me as a human in 2015. I bombed out the Arnold, and Sean was like, all right, that's not fucking happening again. And he took over I guess actually RBA Open was technically after he did it. But anyways, spring of 2015, he was like, yeah, he went to Dawn and was like, she's not fucking doing that again. So, because I bombed out 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, y'all can't seem to get under control what she needs to do. And so he took over my program.
Yeah, I don't want to delve into it too much, but like one of my criticisms of the system was, and this was from the institution of like in the beginning, when money is tied to your training or whatever, hey, everybody comes in, everybody train 9 times a week, everybody tries as hard as possible. And you have a load of lifters along a different spectrum. Like you have a person who's working a full-time job, training 5 times a week. Fuck you, 9 times a week. Double the volume. That doesn't make any sense. Even myself, like I was coaching, and training. So like going in, probably not working like 40 hours in an office like somebody, but like doubling your volume didn't make any sense. So our coaches definitely had the time to do individualization, or at least tier it a little bit better. Maybe people start at 5 and they start building up the doubles. But it was just viewed as, hey, if you don't show up to practice 9 times a week, you don't get 9 times a week of pay. So like you're either here or not. And like that would have been fine if we had to be there 9 sessions, but we just, had a better plan for what we did over those 9 sessions instead of going heavy all the time. In any case, there was a lack of like reflection and individualization from some of the best coaches that we've ever had. And I was just sick of it. So I said, okay, this is not what we're doing anymore. We need to work. We need to develop this powerful person, not just, have her go for PRs and everything.
Meat grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Sean started coaching me then. So that's like when and that was prior to our dating relationship.
Yep.
Yes? No.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, actually. Which isn't what's supposed to happen, right? Or no, what's the order?
Yeah, no, we were supposed to date and then.
You're supposed to date.
What's the order?
No, like the safe sport order.
Thing.
One of the
safe sport order. Yeah, well.
The reason I think, and we could expand on this, the reason I think this has worked is because we were teammates and equals from the start. So even though I started coaching, like usually the reason that's dangerous is there's a power disparity between like a coach and an athlete.
Yeah.
That never existed. We're the same level of person. All it was is like, okay, I'm in charge of like making sure that you're able to succeed, but I have no other power than you other than this. And also like at the end of the day, we got 2 other coaches in the room who like I actually am going to defer to if they want. So I think that's why the arrangement's always been, it still has that added level of complexity, but worked out pretty good because it's like there isn't like a my way is the highway mindset. It's like no, we're at the heart of it. Like we're still teammates, you know. So maybe that's why our relationship is so positive. So no, I'm serious.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. Like, fast forward, right? You guys have continued to be a good couple when you guys are in the back room. You're training, still, you know, Taylor, you're still hitting meets when you're not having health issues and stuff. Like you guys still continue to do that. So with training and stuff, like as your training's adjusted, like Taylor, do you find Sean is programming in a way that is more protecting you from yourself or more pushing you still?
Yes, both.
All right, that's what I was gonna say, or both, because like I think that's one of the thing after like so many years, you know, he's seen your ups, he's seen your highest ups, and he's seen your lowest lows. So remaining like obviously being your spouse, he's gonna want you to always be the best version of yourself he can. He's also seeing the worst moments of your fucking weightlifting career, so he doesn't want you to have to go there again to the depths and the bowels.
I was in Britain bawling my eyes out at my last international meet because my back was in so much pain that I couldn't function.
Yeah.
After my last clean and jerk, I barely made the bathroom and broke down because and like that I know was super hard on him because like he wasn't there. We didn't have the money for him to go to that one, and like B, like just hearing that probably wasn't great. Because you're just like, and I hate being like, oh, I'm crying, but like when you're just like, there's a point where you can like compartmentalize pain, and then at some point like you're just like, I can't keep doing this. But yeah, no, Sean's, I will tell you this, that, so I've had a back issue on and off since my very early on in my career. My first coach, not Tom, but the guy who introduced me to weightlifting really fucked me up because I'm very powerful and strong. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah, you're my golden goose to get me to where I want to go as a coach.
Yeah. And
abuse the shit out of me. So that's why I have like a knee issue, a back issue, things like that. But Sean, when my back issue reflared up in 2018, 2018? Yeah, he started. The man has read every book, talked to every person. He got Travis to hook him up with
Stu McGill,
all
that stuff.
Yeah, McGill.
Like to just
I
like
know Mr. McGill too.
And every person that we could think of to try and assess and what we could do to get my back, because like I had an MRI and there's nothing physically wrong with my spine or my hips or anything. So like Sean has done that. My elbow's been hurting this last couple months. He's learned he's now an elbow expert. So I'll say like that's something, and I'm not saying he doesn't do that for his other athletes. I think he goes an extra bit because, like you say, he does care because he is my spouse and he wants me to keep doing this as long as I want to do it.
Yeah.
But I do think that he's done things like we have implemented things like so velocity training is something we use quite a lot with our elite level athletes. And I don't want to say that was for me, but like I think that part of that, the reason we did velocity is because like velocity training has kept me in the game because I'm able to keep squatting without hurting my back. Because we were able to figure out when I would have flare-ups, as we call them, of pain at certain velocities. So now, like, we have a whole...
You have a threshold you can train at, probably.
There's a whole speed thing, and we know what we can do. And we know what we should be hitting. Or, like, Sean has bought... We have a belt squat and a reverse hyper because those are things I could do with my back pain. That kept
but I mean he also like to just kind of piggyback on that, he can experiment on you without he can experiment on you with shit and pretty much run the gambit without a paying, it's like, to call it what it is, a paying customer running the risk of like, I'm gonna fucking practice or try this new shit for 12 weeks and the risk of it failing. And that, you know, that customer be pissed off because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a money exchange. I hate to say it is what it is, but like with you as wife and partner, he can be like, listen, we tried. Like we were both on this together. It didn't work, but like we do know this will work for other people. So now it's a business expense. We can use it for other people.
Yeah, I mean, the reason the back thing took so long is because I had to learn, go through that process, and I called every expert I could. And actually, what I learned is to not do what they said. Which was funny. So anyway.
Yeah, all of them told us not to like reverse hyper, but reverse hypers were like the only thing.
Well, it was like only like don't do any flexion movements, and it's like it turns out you got to, bro. You know.
But anyway. So like Sean programming for me has been, it's always been really good, and I've always like, I tell people all the time like he is like I'm biased. I've been coached by him or trained with him for 10 years now. 10 years next month. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I'm very biased, but I wouldn't advise anyone to ever coach their spouse.
Yeah.
Because I think that can be, like to Sean's point, like this is working because our dynamic started differently. I would never say, hey, you're now married to Sally Smith and she wants to get into weightlifting, you should coach her. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Let her go get a coach. The same way I say to Sean, if we ever have kids, please let our child be coached by somebody else.
Yeah.
He's with me on this, but like that, I'm just like, can we separate and let them like learn lifting?
I'm actually all about it. Like Tracy and me have actually talked about like I'll coach Eli and she can train Oaks if like the kids want to get into it. I don't want to coach Oakley.
I don't want.
I want to actually sit in the stands and watch him. I want to be as far away from the platform as fucking possible if that kid decides to lift. I want to actually enjoy watching it like a fan.
And be that supportive parent instead of stepping into that coach.
I've never been to be a fan. Do you know that? Like I've never actually genuinely been a fan. I've always been the coach behind.
Yeah.
So I'm like excited for that shit.
I think it's always a thing. Like I think you have to really think about the impact on the long-term relationship, whether it be with your child, your spouse, or even like you said, like your athlete or client. So.
Yeah.
What?
Sounds impossible.
So where, because it's got to happen somewhere. So Sean, where does she give you the most friction? Oh. Look at her close her mouth.
I know.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let you answer.
No, you tell me. I don't know. I want to hear what you're going to say.
When I'm in pain is when I give you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
She's trying to push herself through it.
Generally, when it's harder for her to be reminded or be receptive to the reminder that it's okay for us to like make a substitution, or that like actually sometimes that the pain that the discomfort she's feeling is not injurious pain, because it's hard for anybody who's actually had a real injury and like gone through it. Like if you're as tough as my wife is the toughest person I've ever met in this sport, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that. There's people come close, but no one's this tough. And you've shut off the pain signaling for months on end. When you finally get to a point where you can't do it anymore, to go back to a place where you can have separation from, oh shit, is this thing that I was ignoring forever? And any discomfort or any pain is like automatic, I can't try hard. Or is it, oh no, just like 3 to 4 out of 10, mild discomfort, we're getting back up the horse. So that's actually where I think she struggles the most, because that's just a hard thing for anybody to do.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I actually just had to kind of have that discussion with like Logan, because he was kind of recovering from like a back thing, and it was like, it's good tension. Like we've done the rehab thing. This is good tension. Like we don't need to be worried about it. It's good to be cognizant of it.
Yeah.
But like start to learn how to separate that while you're a teen, so that way when you get senior, you know the difference.
Yeah, it's really tough for anybody who's gone through that. And I know Logan's had those back issues, so yeah.
Yeah, we've seen so many of our we've had muscle driver teammates that have let it be a debilitating thing for them. Like when they got injured, Ariel.
Yeah, you never see them again.
Like they let it mentally just take them down this path where they can never come back from it. And like weightlifting is a tough fucking sport, man. It's gonna hurt. Like it's gonna hurt. Like
yes,
and at some point it's gonna hurt.
I think a lot of people, and this is just my fucking hot take recently, and I like joke around with my coaches at the gym, like I think like a blog got written or some shit where like someone was like, weightlifting's easy, get into it. And like fucking people read that because I don't know, man. Maybe I'm like evolving into the old man coach recently, but like I swear to God, a lot of people like are fucking like in it for 2 years and they're just like, I'm just really unhappy with my progress. I'm like, where the fuck do you think you should be in 2 years? Like, do you understand this is like one of the hardest fucking sports in the world? Like Lydia Valentin, like literally took like fucking 21 years to fucking win a medal at Worlds. Like, and she's been lifting since she was 11.
This is my soapbox. I fucking bitch about this shit all the time, especially with women. And I don't mean this against my own gender or sex or whatever. Women, there have been so many hot flashes in the pan of good female weightlifters in the sport, and it gets hard, right? Like they're like fucking killing it, either locally or nationally, like AO series, and suddenly it gets hard at like 18 months to 2 years, like you say, and suddenly they disappear because I don't want to do this anymore. It's hard, and it's like, ladies, and I say this about women because like I think that they have a lot more potential than they give themselves, or men.
I mean, me and Sean are gonna fucking talk about it. We're not.
So like I get really like I get very frustrated because I'm just like if I had quit 2 years in, like it would just been a huge miss. Or if
I think humans as a whole don't like friction because it's uncomfortable, and we're in a society that fucking shies away from friction.
Yeah,
And that's
friction.
that is so fucking evident in so many topics beyond just weightlifting.
we actually talk about this with like developing. I think. Well, you were there. Oh no, you didn't come to LSUS, right?
No, I wasn't able to come to that.
Okay, so we talked about that. There is like I did an interview with Piros. Like was it always like he's amazing, he's greatest weightlifter all time, right? And like was doing things other people can't do. But there were plenty of moments where it was still the sport and it was still all that friction and things were hard. And I was like, why did you keep going? And he's just like, love. And like, it's that simple. And so if you don't love this, it's okay if you don't love this. So that's where I'm going to counter. It's like, if you don't love it, that's fine. Like, don't pretend like you're sad though. Because if you're quitting because it's hard, it's because you didn't love it. So you don't get to be sad. You didn't care that much about the thing. So go do something else. And that's totally okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that I 100% agree with that, and that's actually a good segue into our next piece. So you're a gym owner now, Sean. You're also now you're officially like the junior national team coordinator. We were kind of chatting with that over the phone. So like you've done really well for yourself. Okay, the gym's going well. You guys just expanded again, right?
Yep.
So like, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Congrats on the new fucking stresses that brings along with. I'll not be doing that anytime
Yes,
soon.
the gray hairs we're both hiding.
So like Tayler, we're gonna get to you in a second, but this is gonna be Sean's piece. So it might be a little dry conversation though, because you fucking hear about it. Unfortunately, being the spouse of a weightlifting coach, like Amanda fucking hates hearing me talk about weightlifting all the time now. So you may enjoy it more.
So as a sidebar, when we have date nights, try to have date night once a week or so, or once a month we go out. We try to purposely not talk about the gym or weightlifting.
Yeah.
We make it about 10, 15 minutes.
We
Yeah, I get that.
45.
We try to do the same thing. I mean, me and Amanda are both entrepreneurs. We try to do the same thing, and it's about 10, 15 minutes before I'm talking to her about her company.
When we both like, I'm involved here, not as much as I used to be, but still, like I know what's happening. So anyway,
I mean, we're both passionate about our businesses, so it makes sense. It's fine.
Go ahead, dear.
So Sean, like, let's talk about this new role. Okay, so like you're seeing all these youth and junior athletes coming through now through these camps. Watching videos, you're getting names to seek out and stuff like that and talk to their coaches. You're seeing new coaches and also coaches that have developed athletes already. And they're putting new youth athletes or junior athletes through here. Where do you think like we're really heading in the right direction? Where like you're just like seeing stuff and like, thank fucking God. Like, yes, we're getting it. We're finally understanding this shit. And on the flip side, like, where are you frustrated because it's just like, fuck, we just keep getting into the same pothole. We can't fix the goddamn roads. Like, it's just the same shit over and over again. And like I told you on the phone, you can't use the cop-out of stop paying them for college sports.
Yeah. I'm going to start with the frustrations because I think it'll lead to the positive things.
Okay.
The first one is I'm seeing coaches, whether they're new or older coaches, doesn't matter, but a lot of like pressure to make the teams as far as in this high performance environment. So these youth and junior teams, coaches prioritizing like getting the kid on the team over their actual development. And maybe it's the kid's impatient too, but that's where you gotta be the literal adult in the room sometimes and just be like, nope, here's the plan, and like create buy-in and explain maybe that plan a little better, whatever reason. But the people who are more concerned about qualifying or getting some certain level of placement are generally the people who miss the most lifts.
Short-term visionaries.
Yeah. It's like like I'm glad you're on this team, but like, and we're all competitive, right? In this sport, like you want to compete with other people, but you've also got to be like doing the best thing for that athlete, or having a long-term vision, especially at that age. So more of a priority on made attempts, which usually just means better technique, better consistency, in general. Maybe just smarter attempts would be the way to go. Not being unrealistic about your planning. So that'd be my frustration box, I guess, essentially. I'm starting to see, just to shout them out, I guess, newer, younger coaches advance. So for a long time, there wasn't you can't go to weightlifting school, right? There's no degree that exists. It's not like in Russia, I can literally go get a degree in weightlifting, right?
Yeah.
Can't do that here. I can, at best, get an exercise science degree and be like a big, fan of weightlifting. And then I've invested a lot of money in a piece of paper that okay, great, now I'm a broke weightlifting coach. Cool. Like, what a good value opportunity, proposition. So there's no pathway. Forever it's just been you're just coaching, you have a level 1, maybe you have a little bit extra education. And I think that led to a general lack of professionalism in the past. I'm not saying this is all older coaches, because it's not. But that culture led to, just a lot less really good coaches. And now we have, maybe it's only because we have so many new coaches and it's just a volume thing, but I am seeing a lot in the newer generation. And obviously the internet's massive because it's such a resource and we can share information way faster than just muscle and fitness magazines, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a catalyst that needs to be part of the conversation. But a demand for a pathway, a demand for professionalism and education, because we're seeing coaches innovate faster, newer coaches who are making maybe the same mistakes, but they're making them faster and learning from them faster because you just got to get better at this kind of stuff. So that's where I'm excited about where the future is going, is we're not afraid to try out stuff, and we're not afraid to evolve and just get a little bit better at what we've been doing.
Gotcha. Do you think we'll ever see I always like to ask coaches this, especially guys that have been around for a while. Do you think we'll ever see an American system?
No. It's philosophically the antithesis to our DNA.
Yeah.
It's just nope, I won't be governed. This is the land of freedom and Wild West, and no one's going to tell me how to do it. Even though it'd be totally reasonable, factual, scientific things.
That was the next question. Now the counter question is, do you think it would help us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
that was the counter question.
Yeah, a standardization of knowledge. We need to have a minimum knowledge requirement. When you go to college, you got to take English 101 because you got to know how to write good. You got to know how to do pluses and minuses.
You got to write good if you wants to do the papers.
It's just it. And so I would say the same thing. If you want to coach well, there are just certain things that if we standardize it, it'd be really, really helpful for everybody, and it would lead to a lot less problems down the road. It would help coaches stay in the game longer and develop their athletes more effectively. And so I would hope that would mean more athletes making the jump at the senior level, which is not what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. Awesome. Solid. So, Tayler, your turn. Okay. So I actually thought about these questions for a while. I think I was talking to Sean. I only had a limited time. And I mean, I could sit at a bar with you guys and talk forever. We've done that before. So, and you actually took longer to come up with a question because I didn't want to talk to you about some boring bullshit about the board and the boards and the WSOs, and those are all important, but people don't want to listen. Let's be real.
Well, they don't understand it, so they don't want to.
It's not that they don't understand. It's just they don't want to listen to that on a fucking podcast. They want to watch a video on YouTube of fucking Lou snatching a world record, not you talking about a WSO.
Italian girls half naked. I mean,
or 3 tips to. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, 3 tips to make your overhead squat better. Tip 1: actually fucking do them.
Correctly.
Sit in the bottom of your fucking snatch. Anyways, so this one actually dawned on me when I was just watching some lifting videos and just kind of thinking of times I've been in the back with you and watching you lift and stuff, because you've been in a bunch of sessions when Caitlin was lifting under me, and still lifting, and dude, you have a fucking a fire and an intensity when you train.
Yeah.
And like that I said those same words to Sean, and it was that was a whole interesting conversation itself. But like you have a really big aura you give off when you're training. And I think any of your training partners would recognize that. Anyone in the gym would recognize that. But anyone in the back in a session you're in would recognize that. And I was like delving through the records today, just doing like this deep dive on you guys for these questions and stuff. But like, and I would type in Coop and I would type in Harris, and you and Coop are in the same session, same fucking session, same session. I was like, fuck, I remember she's in every fucking one of these sessions. And I remember you specifically were in these sessions. And then just you in the back are always fucking intense. And then videos that get posted of you, you're always fucking intense. And it's not an intensity of like, get the fuck out of my way. It's just an intensity of like, listen, I'm fucking ready to go and you can come with me and you're here to fucking go. And it's an inviting intensity. It's an aura, it's a fire. Like it's not a negative aura. Like sometimes people create an intensity of like, get the fuck out of my way, I'm here to work. Yours isn't that same one. It actually brings an energy to the room that's positive. And I would assume that your teammates would say that, or the people that are around you would say that.
I hope so.
But like, where does it come from? Like, what is your background? Were you like that in soccer? Like, what were your parents like? Like, did they bring that to the game? Like,
No.
like what? Sean's like, no. Like, did somebody fucking step on your toys one day and you just like wanted to fight them? Like,
so neither one of my parents are athletic. I didn't get into athletics because of my parents. Like, so my mother was like a high school cheerleader and never did anything. And maybe did some like of those like Tracy Anderson tapes when maybe I was a baby.
yeah.
I was very naturally thin and like looked like the 90s perfect body, right? And then my dad is a like a thick man. He's like Sean but taller.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of him.
Yeah, so dad and I look a lot alike, and then but like dad's intense but not intense about sports. Like I'd say maybe when he rides motorcycles he's kind of like me. Maybe, but like it's not like something I was taught. When I played soccer, it just kind of happened that was how I liked to play. Like I wasn't like all the pictures. Like I looked very angry.
What position did you play?
I was a center defender. I was a sweeper.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was last line defense, owned the field, very loud. So it worked.
So that just kind of carried into weightlifting.
Kind of just carried into
You just attack the bar like you would attack the ball.
Yeah, and like it was like I remember when I started CrossFitting. The woman I was at her CrossFit gym, they owned CrossFit Asheville. She was actually a cross country runner, and used to tell me to relax. She's like, you're holding too much energy in your body because, like, cross country runners, that's a thing, right? And I would get so angry about it because I was like, like this is not me. Like, and then I actually had a kind of a period of time, and this is I think I'm coming back around. This Sean knows what I'm about to say. There's a period of time where when I got to Muscle Driver, I tried to compete. I don't know if you know who Ariel Ford.
Yeah, I know Ariel because Bob was coaching Ariel when Bob was working with me.
Yeah, so Ariel's very zen, right? Very calm, very like all the time. I tried to emulate Ariel because I was like, she is who I want to be. Like, she is awesome. She's strong. I want to be like Ariel. Very much here. And then Becca Gurdon, same way, very here. I tried to emulate all these women that were around me.
And Morgan was like that too. I know she wasn't around. But like, but like your peers were like, hey, chill.
All the women in the sport at the time were very here, right?
Yeah, Jenny Arthur is kind of like very even keel.
All of them.
All that stuff.
Every single woman was very calm. So I tried to emulate that, and I had the worst meets, just one after another after another. Because I was trying to suppress who I was naturally to be this. I was putting on a mask to compete. So I was getting nervous. I was not enjoying being out there. I fucking hated it. I was like, this is horrible. And Sean actually encouraged me to go talk to a sports psych. And I talked to the sports psych, and he's like, I want you to talk about like, he's like, I want you, because we're dating. He's my coach. He's like, I want you to talk to somebody. Nathan, my sports psych, was like, I want you to start writing down things in training when you're training well, what it is. And I was like, I'm having fun. I'm intense. I'm like talking shit to people. Like I'm doing me. I'm being me. Like I would be on the soccer field. And Nathan helped me realize that like I can be me and still do well. I don't have to put myself into someone else's box to do well, right? To make myself shaped like them to do it.
That's fucking awesome. I love that. Everything you just said, I love, man.
So that's like where, and that has come out, and that's kind of been part of, I also like with my training partners now, especially like, because we have these girls that are anywhere from 16 to 28. How old's
Yeah.
Elena? Like my elite teammates here at the gym. And something I really talk to them about is like, or try to help them out, is figure out who they are when they compete. Because they come in, they think they're trying to be like me, and I'm like, hey, weightlifting is fun, and you got to be who you want to be. Do you want to have fun? Do you want to laugh? Do you want to joke? Do you want to be intense? Like Elena, who's the long dark-headed girl. She and I are very similar. She played lacrosse, very similar, like intense humans. But like Denise doesn't need to be like that. Denise needs to have fun to do well. So like it's helping. I think I've taken that on as like, especially as like I'm in my 30s now. Been like, hey ladies, like let's figure out who you are and like embrace your own personality in lifting. And if that's, I smack myself and I get angry and I'm like, yeah, like this is the Tayler show you're coming to see. No matter what happens, good or bad, you're here to watch me. Is kind of how it is, right?
Yep.
And that sounds really egotistical. It's not how I mean it. It's just.
But it's not for anyone else. It's for you.
It helps me when I get on that platform. I'm owning that 12 by 12 square and saying, this is me. And I'm not rushing out there lifting and running off and nervous about it, right? I'm owning it. So it's like I'm trying to teach them, or at least help them feel like they can have that same power in who they want to be.
I love it.
So I've told Sean recently, I think that is my like next kind of, I'm slowly obviously becoming less and less competitive, which is fine as a senior, and that's fine. But like I still have some things to give to the community, and one of that's like how to help other women be competitive and find themselves and to love the sport.
No, I think that's fantastic. And actually, Kiana Elliott, who I think you guys both know or have seen at least, she actually just did a post about that. God, and I'm like on her IG looking at it right now. I'll send it to you, Tayler, later. And I might even tag it on this post. She just literally made a post about like 2-3 weeks ago about how she yells or grunts in the training hall, and she's like, I'm not ashamed of it. Like this is how I get my shit done. And she elaborates on it, and I'm like, this is fucking outstanding, because I think a lot of times, especially women, like again, I'm not a female, but I definitely think it's safe to say and presume that like they want to keep this image that they're not grunting or they're not making these sounds and shit. Like, dude, get after your fucking bad self. Who gives a fuck? If a dude is allowed to sit down there and make stupid fucking sounds, and like I bark, dude. Yeah, I've barked even when I was a CrossFitter and competing at high level CrossFit. Like the other guys in the gym used to joke and fucking be like imitating me, like I don't give a fuck. I'm doing whatever in my fucking head I need to do to get the bar off the ground. And that's it. And in the Army, they condone, like, or not condone, they encourage that activity. Also, like, whatever the fuck you got to do, man, you keep doing it.
This right here, and, if there's something going to happen wrong in weightlifting, it's here. It's up here. And so what that is for me is like, when I like hit myself in the chest or on the legs or yell or ask Sean to like smack, it's to like clear the mechanism, right? Like, to clear it out and be like, nah, girl, it's just you and a fucking barbell. Go do it.
Yeah. And it's energy. Look at those fucking girls from Colombia and Ecuador.
But so
yelling and fucking screaming.
So many American coaches and American lifters hate them because of that. And it's like, let them be, like, if we're going to talk about like, hey, let you do whatever you want to do and whoever you want to be, let them be that. Look at the Taiwanese team? Yeah. Fucking Asian teams, they yell. They do it. Like, sometimes it's a team thing. Sometimes it's just the athlete on their own. Dude, I love the call on repeat from the Chinese, man. Yep. That shit always gets me going. I'm like, yes. Yeah. I don't even know what you're saying. Yeah, and to just double back on it. So, like, full-time job, just got a big girl promotion, as you self-girl said. Like, so, like, not only are you training, not only are you still trying to compete, but not only that, but you're also keeping this intensity up. Like, I turned 36 in March. Like, I'm doing my own thing, trying to stay training while doing my own health fucking journey, as we'll call it, losing weight and all that shit. But, like, I have a lot of masters athletes, and, like, I have a lot of athletes that are also, like, doing the transition of college to adult life. Like, and they need to figure out, like, that fire and keeping that little fucking ember going and raging, like, if you got it, what's that secret, or what advice can you give? And Sean, you too, you're a high-level athlete as well. You're allowed to enter the conversation now. Like, advice you guys can give of keeping that fucking ember raging, or at least bringing it down and turning it up when you need. Like, what's advice from you two guys to them? Got one.
Go for it.
Find a training partner. Find a training partner. Doesn't matter if they're on the same level with you, but if it's somebody who can
expectations,
you push you, if it is like either verbally or actually what's on the bar, find a training partner. Like, I literally was telling the girls last week, in 2017, 2018, I made jokes about writing a want ad for a training partner.
I love
Now
it.
I have 4 of them. And it is,
I love it.
that's, I think one of the reasons I'm still going at 30, I'll be 37 this year. I'm 36 right now. I'm still doing this because these bitches won't let me stop. They talk shit to me constantly.
I tell my wife that all the time. I like the more training partners I can get, like I'll train more consistent because it's also about expectation.
Yeah, and like they'll take like Tuesday. So I got a PRP shot, and so I took Tuesday off to take some rest. And Elena was like, "Where the fuck are you?" It's like, your coach didn't give me any program. She's like, "What does he know?"
Yeah.
She's
There you go.
here. So that. Like, I think that for me, it's like, because as an adult, like you say, like, so I get up, I work, I make sure my meals are prepped. But like at 4:00, my computer goes on do not disturb, my work computer, and I come to the gym and train. So like part of that is like training partners, knowing we're going to be here, having a schedule, and also like having a like expressing to your boss, like it's 2024. Most companies will understand and will respect you for having a hobby. I think.
Yeah.
At least any company that I worked for, if I've gone to them like, hey guys, so like,
Not in Detroit, the big 3 owns their souls.
no, well, like, so I work for a decently sized company, and I'm just like, hey guys, like, and they were amazed by it. They're like, yeah, like my boss rides horses. She's a master like woman who rides horses. I don't know what that.
Equestrian.
Yeah, but like she's a master's athlete, and she's like, yeah, man, like I want you to compete because like I still want to compete. So I have a really nice, like, I have a very well-rounded and very supportive environment around me. So
I love it.
I don't know. What about you, kid?
I think those are all great. I got none because I'm clearly not thriving in my physical activities at the moment, and it's actually been very difficult to manage like responsibilities. I don't even tell you, but like business owner.
No, it's hard, man. I actually, Sean, like I talked to Taylor about this, and I resonate with you, and I've said to the members of the gym recently, like, for me, and anyone that hasn't heard this will actually be surprised that they just don't talk to me enough in the gym. Like 2024, like I've decided I'm fucking done taking care of everyone else first, and I'm actually putting myself in priority again. And like I started that actually in October of last year. I decided I'm done. Like I've done a really good job of putting everyone else first. Now I need to fucking take some time for myself.
Yeah.
And it's been uncomfortable as fuck. Really what it is. Because like I feel a vibration on my phone, my instant reaction is go to my phone.
Right.
To answer the athlete. Because it's a business. I have an expectation. I also like, as a coach, you get it. Like you have high expectations of yourself and what you expect and what your coaches did for you, et cetera, all that. And like, it's just taken a few practice rounds, and now I'm finally like in my groove, just like when an athlete we work with starts training of like, hey, you're going to fall off every now and then, get the fuck back on it. And like, that's just what it is. 2024, I'm taking to my fucking self. I'm going to be a little bit slow, but like, sound fucking cocky saying it. What I do is fucking better than 90% of the other fucking gyms. So fuck them. And, you know, I'm still responsive. I still get programming out on time. I still fucking video review. I'm still on top of my shit as much as I can be. So, like, I'll take 10% more time to myself, and it's paying off. And, like, that's just what it is. Owning a gym is fucking hard, man. It is the death of your athletic career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anybody out there
owns a fucking gym.
I'm just
and is still a high-level athlete.
Running a gym, coaching it.
Yeah.
No.
Anyone that owns a fucking gym and is still a high-level athlete doesn't own the fucking gym. They just own the paper. Somebody else is running the fucking gym.
Yeah.
Well,
they own the taxes, maybe.
Adam, we talk about this. Like, I've told Sean, like, we've watched 2 of our coaches die before their time.
Yeah.
So Glenn, obviously, and then Don passed away, and then, like, Coach Wilkes has been good and bad health throughout the years, and even, like, Travis. Like, Travis is now 50, and, like, he's, like, I think his wife told him, like, you gotta, like, you have a fucking 4-year-old. You gotta get, like, you're gonna see your kid graduate from high school kind of thing, right? So, like, that's the same thing I said to Sean. I was like, I don't want you to fall in this line of, like, what we saw with our weightlifting coaches. Like, y'all, this new generation, like, y'all need to take care of yourselves. Like, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not gonna be, like, how many times have fucking, like, Butch or Coffee show up at events, you're like, how old are these fucking men? And they're not that old. They were like 60, and they looked like they were like 900 years old.
Yeah.
Because they never took care of themselves, and you knew they were not providing good services to their athletes at that point.
No, you definitely can't.
And so, like, that's something
Yeah.
too, is like, if you want to do this long term as a coach, like, you still need to take care of yourself. And I don't mean like you don't need to be like, I'm trying to be national champion or something, but you do need to be like, hey,
Yeah, it's just
lead from the front and show that like you can have a career and still train.
we're selfless,
I know.
and it's unfortunately I guess you would say, like, one of my team leaders described it as like, you can't be so selfless that you're the first one to attack the machine gun nest.
Yeah.
Because then your whole team loses their leader.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of eviscerates the whole fucking problem. And, you know, nobody wins from that. So being a coach sucks. But it's fun, but it sucks sometimes.
It's so hard.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
For sure.
So.
But anyways.
From that darkness.
No, it's not dark. It's just like, it's hard, man. And the thing is, I'll even say this. What Sean will say, and I know I can say, and Taylor, you've been in the sport, there's a lot. You went with that quote of hot flash in a frying pan. There's a lot more fucking hot flash coaches that come into the scene and go out than fucking athletes.
Yeah.
They think they're hot shit. They come into a fucking meet with their star athlete, and then they're gone, and the athlete's still there. So,
or both.
Because they either can't do it.
Because they've been overwhelmed in one meet. They got overwhelmed, and they were like,
yeah. So, but anyways, we're gonna head to the game.
oh no. I was hoping we would run out.
The game. Nope, we got enough time. We're doing the game. All right. So, those of you that are joining, we always do a game. This one's gonna be a special one. So Taylor already made the mistake of testing. I don't know why, because she like went child mode and was like, "I want candy."
I do.
I'm gonna.
A sweet tooth.
Sean does not look excited about this, by the way, over there.
No.
He looks.
I don't even like sweet candy. Like, why would I?
So it's like a double hit. So it's like we're gonna go ahead and show the screen here.
I don't know what the
I'm
questions are. I'm excited.
Where is my Jelly Belly window? There we go. All right, so share.
Oh.
All right, so these are our flavors, ladies and gentlemen. So these are Jelly Belly bamboozled. So they are random flavors inside this container, and we're going to ask a series of questions. As you can see, they are similar. So Taylor tested, and she luckily got the new pomegranate, aka she actually got Old Bandage. Which I don't even know what that tastes like, but I don't want to. So
it was like musty.
Musty.
It was just like a musty
taste. That sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
So those are our flavors. They'll describe them, I guess, best to their abilities.
All right.
But so we're gonna ask a series of questions now. Both of them were awarded 2 questions. We'll do at the end for both of them as a grand slam here that they could stump their partner with. So we'll also see.
Questions? There's other questions.
There's other questions.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're doing 2.
just 2.
Oh no, we got to fire off here.
God.
So with further ado, we're gonna start with Sean here. So let's go ahead, Taylor. Hand the. Do you guys want to pick each other's, or do you want to just grab your own?
I'll open it up myself.
Yeah.
All right. So Sean, you'll start. Taylor was named to an international team October of 2018. What was that meet, and what was her total?
What international team was she named to?
What was the meet?
Like that she qualified, or she was the team she was named to? Okay, that's the Qatar International Open.
Yep. And what was her
total? Was 202.
Damn, Sean wins. Sean gets the pass. Good job, Sean. So a series of questions, just so everyone knows. These are like
He's so much better.
fun. How well do you know your spouse?
I know. I don't.
I'm not trying to be too mean. They're a mix of weightlifting and just general ones.
Okay.
All right. So Taylor, Sean 1, Taylor 0. Taylor, Sean is a fucking house, as we all know. All right. Fun fact: while I was doing my deep dive, all right, Sean's second most liked post on his Instagram, after you and him, a sweet pic of you two, is him doing a video of what?
So there's 2 in my mind.
Okay.
Sean, you can't help.
No, I'm trying to
know.
think. Is it the double bounce jerk? The jerk blocks where he hits it and he jerks and does it again?
That is incorrect.
Was it the Holly Mangold jumping post?
It is 220 for 8.
It was a recent one. It was a stupid one.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Let's get that jelly
Oh,
bean
there's
out.
2 in here. Which one do you want me to do? The brown or the?
You picked, so.
Yeah, let's
whatever you
see.
want.
So make sure you're on screen for this.
Okay, so
all right, so we have a brown
This is
one.
either-
Cappuccino or what?
No, or liver and onions.
Ooh,
I think actually no. I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Let's just
all right, so cappuccino. Okay, so we're good. All right.
Okay, I was right. Yeah.
All right, Sean. So talking to Tayler, I recently learned an interesting fact about her last night.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll see if you know the same fact, and see how much you know about it. All right, as a couple, you obviously learn things about your significant other. Whether you want to know them or not is also a story. So, Sean, what are the names of the original main Sailor Moon girls?
Oh, no fucking idea, dude. All right, hold on.
We're talking about their names or their planets? Okay.
So it's their names.
Same.
It's not their planets, because I probably could have done the planets. No,
Sailor. No, you could go that. Sailor who, Sailor who, Sailor
it's
who.
like Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, Sailor Jupiter is one. I don't even know how many there are, so but I haven't guessed wrong so far. Are there 10? Are there really 10? Okay. So I got Venus, Moon, Jupiter, Sailor Mars.
Fuck you.
Okay.
How are you doing this?
Sailor Mercury.
That's it. He got it.
Yeah, baby.
Ron Rigsby with the dub. 2 in a row, Taylor.
Planetary order. Mercury. Yeah.
Sailor Mercury.
Yeah. Okay.
Sailor Mars.
All right. Sweet.
All right. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. And I had to go with original because, like, we didn't have to play with the other planets and the spin-offs.
There's a
Yada.
whole other. We're not.
There's a whole other thing.
All the weebs will come after me on this podcast. All right, Taylor.
It's wrong. Go ahead.
This is going to be a double hit, by the way. So Sean will have an opportunity to rebuttal here. Sean's selflessness, we obviously know.
Mm-hmm.
While diving and deep diving on you guys, I found some fun facts about him. Let's see if you know this.
Okay.
Out of all the hashtags he's used on the most recent 100 posts, what is his most used hashtag?
Do you know?
I have an idea.
I gave a hint.
I don't know what hint he gave.
I don't either. I'm like replaying it. I feel like
The first part of the sentence was the hint.
Oh. Selflessness. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Is that what you're saying? It's probably snarky. If it's not snarky, like then it's like HMBC, but I think it's snarky. I don't know. I hate the internet.
So, jelly bean time?
Dirty dishwater or birthday cake.
Now, I will give you credit, Taylor. GMBC was the second most used he had.
What was it?
Hashtag team first.
Oh, really?
Now, Sean, I will double down.
How am I doing this? I'm doing so good right now.
Yeah, well, you might get fucked up here. Sean,
Yeah.
Shitty fruity.
I will make Taylor eat 2.
Okay.
Together.
If you can name her most used hashtag,
Oof.
because it's fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious.
But if you get it wrong, you're getting the 2.
Oh, can I not?
No.
Nope.
Taylor's most used hashtag. Okay, because it's hilarious. It's not Amazon Strong. I'm gonna go with Amazon Strong because it's the only thing I can say she does consistently. So.
Choose violence.
Oh, nice. All right.
Wait, is this that? No, I don't have that one on today.
So do I have to do one now, or
Yeah, I do 2 now.
wait, what am I gonna do 2 now?
Because then you said 2.
It was 2.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to now. Does that do it together or separately? So you pick it up and push it back down again. Yeah.
Oh.
And this one is easy.
I like pulled up the profiles. I was like, "Are you fucking serious, Taylor? Choose violence." Out of all the posts,
Did you not see? Have you not seen our shirt that says "Choose Violence"?
yes, I have.
Right.
It's
So
funny.
booger or juicy pear.
Oh no.
Good enough.
Took it like a man though.
Well, he's drinking all. He's finished his water. So, you get to pick one.
All right, Sean. Tayler has 1 million certifications apparently.
This is berry blue or toothpaste. I'm going.
Oh no.
It was toothpaste.
I heard toothpaste wasn't bad though.
It's fully toothpaste, and it's helping with the booger.
Your mouth tastes probably like what my child's tastes like. To be. All right, so Sean, while you finish that, chew on this. Tayler has 1 million certifications and jobs, as we know, between her adult job and weightlifting and coaching, all over. But she does have one random ass certification I found from CrossFit. I found it very interesting that she had this. By the look of it, she may not even fucking remember. Do you know what it is?
CrossFit football.
Fuck, you got it.
We took that course together.
Okay, well, there you go. Good job.
With
CrossFit Football 2015.
With Texan.
With Tex McQuilkin.
And
Tex McQuilkin, yeah.
he was great.
Tayler.
Yeah.
Sean played in true fashion, like an Irishman, rugby. I did a bit of a deep dive on his Facebook, and I found some old photos of him playing on a team in California. In 2010, what was the name of the team?
If you would ask me the position, I could have given you that.
That's not what I'm asking.
It's not fair. We didn't know each other. It was in Berkeley, or Oakland. I don't know Sean at all. Apparently, I don't know my husband at all. I know.
I don't know who you are.
Date night this week. We have to discuss all these things, and I'm very upset.
Berkeley Rugby Football Club.
Yep. So eat a jelly bean.
All you can do is finish that.
I feel like I should get 50% credit on that.
You said it was in Berkeley. You did not say the team was Berkeley.
This is
No, I think this was not.
this one's pink.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? I don't know which one that is. Is it?
Is that the Band-Aid again?
No, I think it's Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks. I think it's Stinky Socks.
Oh, there it is.
Oh no!
Just yep.
Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Nothing. Oh Jesus! I can smell it.
This is the best game I've played so far on the Tough Lift podcast. Bob.
Oh, this is all.
Who wants to do this game next? All right, now for the fun ones. These are the two for each of you that you stumped each other on. So who wants to go first?
Well, it's my turn, so I'll go first.
You want Taylor's questions, or you want to hit Tayler with the question?
Oh no, I'll take Taylor's question.
Yeah, let me have it.
All right, Sean. Taylor's questions. Taylor's first weightlifting shoes. What brand were they, and what colors?
Oh fuck! I'm not gonna get this. Were they Penlay Dewins?
They were Penlays, yes.
Okay, so they're Penlay Dewins. Fuck. The color of them?
You're trying to remember what they look.
They're probably red. The red Penlay Dewins? No.
That is incorrect, sir. They were gray and black.
Oh, they were
with pink laces.
I put pink laces in them.
Alright.
Because that was the time when I tried to be more feminine for some reason. I didn't realize I loved black. What'd you get? My mouth still says.
Birthday cake.
My mouth still
Wow.
says Stinky Socks.
Getting all the good ones. All right, Sean, second question.
Give me coffee.
What won Tayler I thought you were drinking the jelly bean container out of the corner of my eye. I was like, she is fucking savage. What won Tayler the best for the first time at MDUSA?
The belt, sorry.
The belt, sorry. For the first time at MDUSA, also making her the first woman to win the belt at MDUSA.
I don't recall the weight. I actually don't.
Do you remember the movement?
It had to have been a clean and jerk complex. Like,
That is incorrect. It was the highest percent of snatch by PRing her snatch by 5 kilos at 85 kilograms.
I took the belt from Sean because he had it the week.
Oh, shit. You didn't tell me you took the belt from him.
Well, like, we didn't keep it. It stayed in the gym.
He's just going to get a good one.
No, you've already had toothpaste. You've already had toothpaste.
He's fucking cherry picking.
only gotten the berry blue.
There's not just one of each. There's multiples.
Buttered popcorn.
Fuck you.
Wow, he got away the whole time with just toothpaste is the worst one.
Booger. I'd booger. I'd booger.
That's just a phase everyone goes
Okay.
through, Sean. That's not bad.
I'm so scared. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
hang on. I just realized this.
That's the belt.
This is in this room.
well, there you go.
Here's the belt
Yeah.
with all of us signing it. That's funny.
I like how that's moved with you guys for fucking 14 years.
14. Just a few. Anyways.
All right, Sean's questions, Taylor. I can't wait to see how many more terrible jelly beans.
God, I hope so.
What Olympian did Sean meet at his very first weightlifting competition?
Okay, California. Was it is Takano a fucking Olympian? I don't think he is. Was it Pop Takano? He's not a weightlifter. He's not an Olympian though. I don't fuck. It's one of them old fucking guys. Who just died? It's not Mark Henry. He wasn't an Olympian, was he?
Mark Henry's an Olympian.
Is it Mark Henry?
Nope, incorrect. Shake that jelly bean container up, Sean. Give her a good
So,
one.
we've already got the blue. I feel like we should get a different one.
The correct answer, Sean actually already said today, and it's Butch Curry.
Butch Curry.
Oh, it's Butch?
Yep.
Butch hit
My first weightlifting meet was at Abraham Lincoln High School, where Kevin Doherty was warming up his kids while running cards, while announcing.
He's done that a lot.
And then Butch Curry came up.
That sounds like
Told me
Kevin.
when I was done, it's like, here, you're pretty strong. You should stick with it. And I remember.
What'd you
Like
get?
toothpaste, but it's not that bad. It's like really minty gum.
I'm gonna like take the blues out the next time I play this game. The blues are bullshit.
It's really just like Orbit gum, and I'm just swallowing.
Yeah, the toothpaste is all right.
Thank God after that fucking stinky sock.
All right, last question.
Uh-oh.
You guys have been good sports. Who owned the MDUSA gym jerk record, and how much was it?
So it's obviously Sean. Like, yes.
Just want to make sure you have to say it. Yeah.
It's obviously Sean. I mean, hang on, but real quick, what did Caleb end up? What did Caleb do?
Less than me.
I think it was
Should I save that as a sound bit and tag him on it just to start?
you should. See if he comes in. Caleb's a good sport, though.
You jerk more than me. That's all that matters.
Was it 215?
Damn.
That's very good.
Okay, cool.
That's what it was.
Gosh, you got it.
Was that 210?
I doubled 200.
200. Anyway.
All right, well, guys,
Okay.
thank you very much. It was fun. You can now, I like to use those in the gym for the members. Sometimes I just make them have one when they walk in and force them into it. Or if they come up to me after they've missed a rep like 2-3 times and they're like, can I do it again? I'm like, yeah, but if you miss it, you got to hit the jelly bean.
Yeah, no, they're getting the jelly bean punishment when they miss.
There you go. Send me some clips.
One miss.
Send me some clips. I want to see.
Yeah.
Fun tonight at Heavy Metal Barbell, folks.
Friday.
Guys, where can everyone watching and tuning in find you guys on the social medias?
Not very often.
Oh my God. I will literally look at your last post. God damn it. I have it up here.
Yeah,
Miss
Chris
Taylor.
Taylor. And then Sean is.
Sean M. Rigsby.
And then it's heavy metal.
Or heavy metal barbell club is the ways you can find us. So.
Excellent. And guys, if you're heading into Charlotte, all right, I have athletes that fly into Charlotte. They're very inviting to all people wanting to drop in. So hit them up, go train with them. Very friendly, very inviting. Guys, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I had lots of fun doing this. Those of you that are listening or watching, please go ahead and continue to watch. Ask any questions you want. They'll answer them. I'll answer them. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for everything. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye, man.
Bye.